Why did it have to be like that? Why did it have to be like that? That wasn't fun. That wasn't entertaining. Oh, man, no, I get it. They're coming off of the All-Star break. It's going to be sloppy. It's not going to be the prettiest thing in the world. And that's exactly what they showed us. They showed us exactly what we thought it would be. Sloppy play, just rusty, not smooth. I guess that's what happens when you come off an All-Star break. I guess that's what happens when Joel Embiid's not playing. It's not like Boban had a bad game, though, to start us off 11-7 in the first quarter, being dynamic, hitting his free throw. So, I mean, was that really the reason? That was just a sloppy basketball game, let's be real. And down the stretch, yes, in the fourth quarter, we came up clutch with some runs that we needed to win this basketball game. But it doesn't make me happy. I'm still a little upset with what my eyes just watched. It wasn't a great basketball game. It wasn't smooth, and it wasn't entertaining. That was just really a garbage game that we ended up winning, so it tastes a little bit better because we get the win, and at this point, wins are so crucial so we can try and squeeze into that third or fourth spot, but, I'm not happy with what I just saw. That's for damn sure I'm not happy. So, it is what it is. The bench is still so concerning to me. What do we have, 12 total points from the bench? Mike Scott, a little disappointing. Jonathan Simmons, disappointing. Ennis, very disappointing. TJ McConnell's given us the most spark off the bench, once again, with some crucial steals in the fourth quarter. But the bench is still so concerning to me. In the second quarter, we put out a lineup with Jonathan Simmons, Bolden, and Ennis. No, I'm sorry, Ennis was not out there, it was Scott. So it ended up being Ben, JJ, Scott, Jonathan Simmons, and Bolden. Well, the bench just gets outscored insanely there. 20-2 run when it comes to the bench and them getting outscored. That was the bench being outscored, by the way. The difference in bench points. Not a specific run, but I mean, that can't happen. That's going to lose you basketball games. That's still going to be our kryptonite coming down the stretch here. I don't believe in this bench. I thought Ennis was more of a dog. I thought Simmons was going to be but he's not even And Mike Scott's been really disappointing. Really disappointing. So the bench to me is brutally still heavily criticized and nowhere near what it needs to be to make a legitimate run at this thing. That's for damn sure. In the third quarter, this was mind-blowing to me. In the third quarter, the Heat go on a 13-4 run, and they actually take the lead. And Brett Brown elects to put out Jonathan Simmons, Bolden, and Mike Scott again. The Heat just went on a 13-4 run and took the lead. And we're putting back out the guys that got roasted in the second quarter? Okay. Now, thankfully, Ben Simmons put the team on his back and went on a personal 8-0 run, which kept us in the ballgame at that point. Luckily, those three guys got torched in the second quarter. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw that lineup go back out on the floor. I couldn't believe my eyes. Fourth quarter happened. TJ with a huge spark. Tobias goes on a personal 7-0 run to get us going. Here's the 6-minute mark that really the Sixers made their push. So Kelly Olynyk gets fouled pulling an Embiid move, but they don't call it, which was crazy because Embiid gets that call every single time. It was the swing move. Whether you think it's bullcrap or not, it's the letter of the law. It was a legitimate foul, and they completely miss up on it. And TJ to JJ for 3, and that gives us a 1-point lead. Now, we were struggling from 3 the entire game, but down the stretch in the fourth quarter, we ended up nailing some that were pretty damn big. I mean, that's what it was. It was crucial and very, very big. Harris hits a monster 3. We're up 4. TJ gets a steal, alley-oop to Ben. Not the greatest alley-oop in the world, but he still gets it in. We're up 6. 7-0 run for the Miami Heat. We're down 1. About 3 minutes left. Ben puts himself in the post, the low post scoring that he had all night. He puts his back up 1. Jimmy Butler ends up running the point at this time of the game. Now, he was getting double-teamed and got a little hectic at times, but he was running the point, and that's crucial. You got to notice that. Jimmy Butler running the point, not Ben Simmons. So obviously that's something that Brett Brown elected to go with, and I totally agree with that. Let's be real. We all kind of do. We know that Ben struggles down the stretch with having the ball in his hands and getting fouled and hitting the free throws, right? So putting Jimmy Buckets on the point was a good move for Brett Brown. Boban hit his free throws late. He was getting fouled. JJ hit a monster three with under 2 minutes left, with about a minute left in the game, and that kind of sealed the deal. There were some late fouls to extend the game there, but the Sixers get the job done and they win. Wasn't pretty, wasn't smooth. It got really ugly. There were spurts where we couldn't hit a field goal. Our bench play was still atrocious in my opinion, but we do get a win, and it was sloppy, but that's what happens when you come off of an all-star break, and that's just what it is. It was sloppy, and we're going to have to really grow from this one. Taking a look at some points, though, when you look at the 76ers, Boban had 19 and 12 in 27 minutes, and I saw a stat that he's the second, let me get this one straight completely, because it has something to do with Joel Embiid and how quickly it got for Boban to get 1,000 points in this league. So I just want to read you the official tweet here. So Boban reaches 1,000 career points in 1,574 minutes of actual playing time. That's the second fewest minutes needed to reach 1,000 career points among active players. Only Joel Embiid reached the mark in fewer minutes. How about that for Boban, who had a monster day? And not only was he providing the boards and the defense and putting his hands up, he was scoring the basketball. It was just awesome to see Boban step in. I saw a funny tweet out there. Joel Embiid, is he a system? Is this just the system? Obviously jokes. Ben Simmons 21, 7 and 4. Tobias 23 and 11 and came up clutch. Like I said, in the middle of that fourth quarter, he goes on a personal 7-0 run to really get this thing going, and then hits a monster 3 under 6. Yeah, he was pretty big there down the stretch. Jimmy Buckets 18, 6 and 6. Come on. And JJ 13, 6 and 3. TJ was a beast with 6 points and 5 assists with a couple steals. But like I said, this team struggled big time from 3. We shot a total of 7 of 26. And don't get me wrong, the Miami Heat struggled too. That's why when you look at the box score and see how many points we allowed in the paint, you're talking 66 points of their 102. But they also struggled from 3 big time. Big time, finishing 6 of 23. We also had 15 turnovers that led to 26 points, which was a big problem there, especially once it got real sloppy. There were parts of that second quarter, parts of that third quarter where it was making my eyeballs bleed. It was to that extent of horrendous basketball, I'll be honest with you. But they get the win, and that's the big important part. Trying to snag the third, fourth seed. That's really what is so crucial to this team and this backstretch. So we get a win without Joel Embiid. Going into this, I thought it could potentially be a trap, understanding the mentality of this team, understanding the fact that Joel is not there, and that could be really beneficial to this team. But Boban stepped up. He stepped up today. I would have never expected him to be to that level. On top of that, you got to give credit to TJ McConnell. Now, I understand it wasn't a huge, insanely deep run that this kid went on to help us win. But in the fourth quarter, he came up with some big steals and big hustle plays. Even earlier in the game, he's running out of bounds, making big plays happen. He was a little spark plug today for his limited minutes. Also, Dwayne Wade, last game in Philadelphia, of course, he goes off. He scores some monster buckets. He was coming off the bench, providing what he did. I'm a D-Wade guy. I know some guys don't like it. I'm a D-Wade guy. I think his career was phenomenal, of course, and I'm going to miss him in the NBA. I think he's a great character guy, a great leader, just a good guy to have around the league. I'm a fan of Dwayne Wade, and it sucks to see him end his career, but that's what happens once you put in the time, and we won't see him here in Philadelphia again, which is a shame, but, props to him for the career. I'm a fan of his work. I'm a fan of his prime. It was outstanding to see without a doubt. So let me know down below your thoughts on this game. Clearly it wasn't smooth. It wasn't pretty. It got sloppy. At the end of the day, though, that last 6-minute run, even though we went up 6 and allowed a 7-0 run, we still get on top there with Boban hitting free throws late, JJ hitting the big three, and Ben putting his back to the basket and scoring in the low post. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.